no question, Ronnie Kray didn't want to do anything other than be a gangster. He knew there was money in being a gangster, but the power was more important to him.
Of course they were gangsters, they committed murder and all the rest of it, but behind it all I think there was the most terrible, sad story, which is of these two identical twins, and one of them was abnormal. He'd been damaged mentally as a child by getting, as far as I can make out, a combination of measles and diphtheria together. Ronnie wasn't normal. Reg was.
Ronald, what do you think about Clubland and all?
Well, I think most clubs are very respectable, you know, and I don't think there's any trouble at all in them, except occasionally.
Ronnie Kray was insane at certain times in his life. He suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, which isn't controlled by medication, is very dangerous.
He wanted to be Legs Diamond, Al Capone. He wanted to be the Colonel. You know, he wanted to be feared by people. He loved being feared by people.
Ronnie was getting too violent, and all Ronnie wanted to do is hurt everybody, you know. Couldn't be happy to get up and have a night out or a day out without someone's got to get hurt somewhere through some ludicrous thing, you know.
Ronnie wanted Reggie to be like him. He wanted him to think like him, and Reggie wasn't that type of person. He wasn't. Reggie could have an argument with you, like everybody else, and he could hit you on the chin, walk away and forget completely about the argument. Ronnie couldn't do that. You know, Ronnie would, mentally, he would want to really hurt you, and hurt you bad.
Ron was terrifying. He wanted to be. He really could look so evil. I mean, to hear Ron say, "You cunt," was in a way no one has ever said it in my life before.
If Reggie sent for you and wanted to see you in Balance Road, you'd go round and see him, you'd have a cup of tea with him and you'd walk out. If Ronnie sent for you, you'd take 6 pairs of pants with you. That's the difference between the two of them.
You had to be on your guard with Ronnie, like 99% of the time, you know? Because, as you say, he was never the same, you know, one day to the next.
Reggie was more businesslike, a bit more sensible, violent. Don't worry about that. He was a violent, vicious man, but it was more directed. There was more reason behind his violence. Where Ronnie done it for fun.
He was feared, and anybody that said they wasn't frightened of him is telling lies. You know, I mean, I've heard loads of rubbish in the papers and seen all the rest of it. And I tell you what, if the man was alive today, they would be shitting themselves, you know, in case he did ever get out. I mean, let's put it this way. I wasn't frightened of him because I knew how to handle him. But if he had the hump on me, I'd keep well away until Reggie sorted it out.
You wouldn't insult Ronnie. You wouldn't say one word about Ronnie. Because if he heard of it, he would come looking for you, yeah.
Some people nearly died. You know, we would have to wrap them up and something to sort of stem the blood and then drop them outside London Hospital or something. And that was regular thing.
Blasker looked after him ever since he was about 17 onwards with pills, yeah, every single day. Well, he quietened him down, there's no two ways about that. I mean, from a raging lunatic, he would be sitting there like a zombie.
He wasn't the same person one day as he was the day before, you know? And the influence he had over Reg, in my opinion, was great, you know? And not only Reg, 90% of the other people in the East End that he worked with, you know?
Cornell, there's no point in shooting the poor bugger. No point at all. You know, the war, supposed war with Richardson's was over because the Richardsons were all in the nick by then, so there's no point in going and shooting him, the blind beggar. But it was necessary for the cult.
Everybody and his friend knew Ronnie Kray shot Cornell. He didn't hide it. The authorities knew. They couldn't find anybody to pin it on because witnesses, lack of witnesses.
What do you get, Ron? 30 years. Well, I've just got to put my cruise to the Bahamas off for a short time, but never mind, you know, we'll have a wonderful time when it finally arrives, with a smile on his face. Like, you know, it was just another day, it was just another event. I'm going to light another player.
I have nightmares today over what Ronnie Kray done to me. And I'm bloody glad he's dead and fuck him, you know?